New details emerge on the Navy Yard shooting. Also, what you need to know about a possible government shutdown. This is OC News Now. Hello and welcome to OC News. I'm Allie Smith. OC News is brought to you by the broadcast journalism students at Cal State Fullerton. State officials are investigating the electrocution of a worker at the Honda Center in Anaheim. Gabriel Gonzalez of El Monte was electrocuted at the arena on Tuesday afternoon, according to authorities. Gonzalez was working on an elevated platform when they believe he cut into a live wire inside of an electrical room. According to the Orange County Coroner's Office, the wire jolted Gonzalez with 480 volts and he was pronounced dead at UC Irvine Medical Center in Orange. Cal State Fullerton student Vincent Hemsley, who was arrested for possessing and igniting an explosive device in public, awaits an October 2nd pretrial hearing and an October 4th bail hearing. Hemsley admitted to throwing explosive bottles mixed with cleaning fluids off a high-level balcony of the Sycamore Double Apartments. That was according to Lieutenant Scott Wiley of University Police. He is still being held in custody at Orange County bail on $1 million bail. New details are emerging about the Washington Navy Yard shooter and what made him go on a rampage. Karen Kaifa has the details.
Investigators in the case of the mass shooting at the Washington Navy Yard have released new information about the shooting incident and the shooter himself. In a news conference Wednesday, the FBI spoke specifically about Aaron Alexis's mental health and his apparent motive.
At this point, I can confirm that there are multiple indicators that Alexis held a delusional belief that he was being controlled or influenced by extremely low frequency, or ELF, electromagnetic waves.
The FBI also released new surveillance video of the incident. In the video, you can clearly see the shooter running up and down hallways and a stairwell of Building 197, brandishing a shotgun. According to police, Alexis altered the shotgun by sawing off the barrel. He etched into the side of the weapon, among other phrases, quote, "end to the torment," and "better off this way," end quote. The FBI also said Alexis acted alone and did not target any specific group of people. Federal investigators, including the Department of Defense, are still trying to figure out how this all happened. Alexis was a government contractor with a checkered past, yet he still managed to gain the appropriate clearance to access the Washington Navy Yard. The Secretary of the Navy has ordered 3 independent reviews of the incident. The results of each are expected to take several months. In Washington, I'm Karen Kaifa.
A memorial was held for Laguna Beach police officer John Cucci, who was killed last weekend after he was knocked off his motorcycle while trying to chase down a speeding vehicle. Cucci responded to the alert and tried to cut off the moving car in downtown Laguna Beach when he collided with a GMC pickup truck. The accident occurred at the intersection of South Coast Highway and Clio Street. The officer was thrown off his bike and killed instantly at the scene. Officials from different agencies, as well as the family and friends, attended the memorial, in which took place at Mortuary in Long Beach. Cucci was 42 years old and a former U.S. Army Ranger. The government is edging closer to a shutdown. In just days away, unless Congress does something, CNN's Carl Azuz shares 5 things you should know about the federal government closing its doors.
Here are 5 things to know about a possible U.S. government shutdown. Number 1, it's up to Congress and the president to work this out. Congress has the job of passing spending bills that fund the U.S. government, and the president signs those bills into law. The government's financial year starts next week. That's why the deadline is October 1st. 2, President Obama's health care reform law, the Affordable Care Act, or Obamacare, factors in. Recent polls indicate public support for Obamacare is weakening. The Republican-led House of Representatives has voted to fund the government, but only if the health law is defunded, effectively killed. Neither the Democratic-led Senate nor the president will go for that, so someone will have to compromise on Obamacare to avoid a shutdown. 3, this wouldn't be the first time the government has shut down. The last 2 times were in the 1990s, one of them lasting 21 days. It was the longest shutdown in American history. 4, many Americans, though maybe not everyone, would notice. Some government workers would be furloughed, forced to take time off without pay. Vacation plans for millions would change because national parks and museums like the Smithsonian would be closed. and Americans wouldn't be able to get passports or certain government loans until the shutdown ended. But government workers considered essential, the military, the FBI, air traffic control, the TSA, they'll all stay on duty. Government medical coverage, Medicare, Medicaid would still be there for those who need it, and you'll still get snail mail. Postal delivery wouldn't change. 5, the economic impact. Really depends on how long a shutdown would last. A few days likely wouldn't have much impact. But a few weeks could make a dent in gross domestic product, and in a fragile economy, that could hurt. Carl Azus, CNN, Atlanta.
An Orange County city will be tossing out a law this Halloween. The city of Orange will be eliminating a law that requires registered sex offenders to post a sign in front of their homes on Halloween which discourages children from trick-or-treating at their home. In past years, registered sex offenders in Orange were required to post a small sign in front of their home which read, "No candy or treats at this residence." The city was hit with a federal lawsuit claiming the practice is unconstitutional. There are heroes among us. More on that when we come back.
What if a disaster strikes without warning? What if life as you know it has completely turned on its head? What if everything familiar becomes anything but? Before a disaster turns your family's world upside down, it's up to you to be ready.
I really want to show you something.
1, 2, ready, go! L-O-V-E. It's a mystery. All is love. Is love.
Did you play today? For great play ideas, visit www.smallstep.gov.
A doctor came to the rescue of a former California county official who started choking while at a restaurant eating dinner. The doctor performed surgery on the spot. Jose Gaspar, more on how the eatery turned into a makeshift emergency room.
It was at the Mark restaurant, and this banquet room was filled to capacity with people enjoying dinner. Former Kern County Supervisor Pauline Larwood was sitting at this spot, and suddenly people start panicking.
Next thing you know, my server, JR, he hears, she's choking.
Larwood was choking on a piece of steak. Several people, including a restaurant supervisor named J.R. Gonzalez, tried to help.
Somebody tried to give her the Heimlich, and they weren't big enough. So JR, who's a pretty big guy, he came behind her looking for the right spot, to no avail. And then, the whole, hey, is there a doctor in the house?
Fortunately, the room was filled with doctors, experts, and politicians in Bakersfield for the Valley Fever Symposium. Among them there, Dr. Royce Johnson, Chief of Infectious Diseases at Kern Medical Center, who jumped into action.
The doctor, said, let's put her on the ground. They put her on the ground and took the steak knife by the blade, made the incision. JR, he's looking for a pen that'll work. These new pens, they're all fancy. So finally found an old pen. They took the ink out, put it in there, gave her the mouth-to-mouth or CPR that way. It took a little bit, but finally the gasp comes.
The dramatic rescue came not a moment too soon, as Larwood's lips were turning purple, said Fernandez.
It went from a joyous celebration to really a lot of concern because she wasn't breathing.
Other doctors, including Centers for Disease Control Director Tom Frieden and Dr. Paul Krogstad, helped out during the emergency procedure, making this a team effort.
At the end, a lot of people kind of really lost their appetite, so they packed everything to go and desserts to go. But, at the end, everybody was grateful and, that everything turned out the way it did.
Jose Gaspar, Eyewitness News.
Just looking. Where? Speaking of heroes, we have a hero wrangler in the studio with us today. Rwanda Tai is president of the Make-A-Wish Club here at Cal State Fullerton. Welcome, Rwand.
Thanks for having me.
So tell us, why did you decide to bring this club to the Cal State Fullerton campus?
Well, I've been volunteering with Make-A-Wish for a couple of years now, so I've decided to try to involve more college students and make more of a difference for Make-A-Wish.
Awesome. And what kind of events is the club going to be putting on?
Well, we're starting off with holiday events such as gift wrapping and rummage sales, garage sales, things that sort of raise money towards the cause. We have tables at sporting events, and we're hoping to go on a larger scale.
Awesome. So how can students get involved?
Basically, I've gotten a lot of students to become involved in Make-A-Wish through our Facebook page and also through the Titan Student Directory for clubs. I have a lot of people just contact me through email and finding out how to get more involved through there.
Awesome, great. Is there anything else you want to tell us about the club? Any events coming up this month or next month?
Basically, just check the Facebook page. It's www.facebook.com/Make-A-Wish CSUF, and you can find out more information through there.
Great, thanks so much for having me.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks, Rwand. Coming up, it's a busy day in sports. Our own Gaj Sangha will have all the football, baseball, and more in sports. All that and more when we return.
I really want to show you something.
1, 2, ready, go. L-O-V-E. It's a mystery. All is love. Is love.
Did you play today? For great play ideas, visit www.smallstep.gov.
Movement. Along with weight loss, it's one of the many ways to fight osteoarthritis pain. For more information on managing pain, go to fightarthritispain.org.
Omega-3 fatty acids have been advertised as one of the best daily supplements you can take. Many nutritionists claim omega-3s can help the heart, cut down on strokes, and even boost the brain. But do they really? New studies say hold on.
Fatty fish like tuna and salmon are chock full of them, so are nuts. Omega-3 fatty acids have been touted by many health experts as magic supplements that can help the body stay healthy, especially when it comes to the brain. But according to a new study in the journal Neurology, omega-3s don't seem to protect against conditions such as dementia as originally thought. Researchers looked at more than 2,000 elderly women and noted the medications and supplements they were taking. Investigators also examined data on the participants' memory, visual, and motor skills over a 6-year period. They found women who were taking the omega fatty acids had no more real protection when it came to those cognitive skills. This is not the first study that found omega-3s to be less than miraculous. A study last summer showed a possible connection to omega-3 fatty acids and an increased risk for developing prostate cancer. So researchers say it's best to talk to your doctor about the supplements you take. For today's Health Minute, I'm Holly Furfer.
A lot of sporting events are taking place this weekend as the Major League Baseball regular season comes to an end. And the NFL 4-week kickstarts tonight. Gaj Sangha has more.
Hello, I'm Garshpal Sangha. I will be previewing games for this upcoming weekend. Starting with Titan Volleyball, Coach Carol Zimmerman and her team will be traveling to University of Hawaii, Manoa, to take on the 6th-rated Rainbow Wahine. This will be the first conference match for both teams. The series has been played since 1982. The Wahine has a series record of 29 wins and 0 losses. Titan hopes to capture the first victory. and you can see the action on Big West TV. Men's soccer returned home for some home cooking. The team has been on the road for over 2 weeks. As the road wasn't too kind, the men's road record consisted of 1 win and 3 losses. And their 1 road win came during their previous match at Nebraska of Omaha. The team hopes to start a winning streak, something they haven't done thus far in the regular season. They will play Grand Canyon this Saturday at Titan Stadium at 7 p.m. Jumping to the women's side of things, women's soccer is sitting comfortable with a record of 4 wins, 3 losses, and 2 ties. Like the men, the women's also played their previous game away at USC. The Titans pulled off a stunning victory, 2-1. This was the first win for Fullerton against the Pac-12 conference school, dating back to 2008. This week, Titans battled the University of Pepperdine on Friday at 3 p.m. The Waves have 5 wins, 3 losses, and 1 tie on the season. Then later on Sunday, the women's team will square off against Gonzaga Bulldog at 12 p.m. The Bulldogs have 3 wins, 4 losses, and 1 tie on the season. These two will be the last 2 conference games left on the Titans' schedule. And a quick note about cross country. Both men's and women's team will compete at the CSU San Bernardino Invitational in Devore, California. Now let's turning to our attention to Week 4 of the NFL. The Thursday night matchup will be between NFC West division rivals, the San Francisco 49ers and the St. Louis Rams. These two teams are excited to get back onto the field in this short week because both of them got slaughtered this past Sunday as the 49ers lost to the Indianapolis Colts 27-7 and the Rams lost to the Dallas Cowboys 31-7. The 49ers have been plagued by injuries off the field incident and poor on-field play. The 49ers team was picked to win the Super Bowl, but they're not playing like that team right now. As we see, we'll see if they can get their act together, as the game will be shown on the NFL Network at 5:25 Pacific Time. Turning to one of the main Sunday matchup between the undefeated Seattle Seahawks and one-loss Houston Texans, the Seahawks look like the force that unquote and quote-unquote experts said they'd be after mowing through the past 2 opponents after a close Week 1 win. The Texans were shocked in Week 3 by Baltimore Ravens, but will look to rebound at home against the Seattle. But it's not going to be easy task for the Texans quarterback, as Matt Schaub, running back Arian Foster, and wide receiver Andre Johnson will have to battle one of the top defenses in the NFL. You can catch this game at 10 a.m. on Fox. Then our second Sunday matchup is a Sunday night game between the New England Patriots versus the Atlanta Falcons. This game is a feature between quarterback duels between Tom Brady and Falcons' Matt Ryan. Brady has led the Patriots to an impressive 3-0 record with the supporting cast that is not the greatest. The Ryan's Falcons record is an unimpressive 1-2. They could have been 3-0, but they lost 2 close games with a combine of 10 points. Sunday Night Football will be on NBC at 5:30 p.m. with Al Michaels and Chris Collinsworth calling the game. Speaking of 2 teams that are undefeated, the Monday Night Football game will be between the Miami Dolphins versus the New Orleans Saints. The surprising Dolphins are off to a fast start, defeating 2 playoff teams last year, the Indianapolis Colts and the Atlanta Falcons. The Dolphins are flying under the radar, while the Saints are not flying under the radar. Drew Brees and head coach Sean Payton showed the league that they haven't missed a beat with all the drama that unfolded last year. Brees hopes to lead the high-octane offense to a 4-0 start. Monday Night Football is on ESPN at 5:30. Major League Baseball wildcard race is heating up. With another regular season concluding in a couple of days, the National League standings are set, with the Atlanta Braves, Los Angeles Dodgers, St. Louis Cardinals, Cincinnati Reds, and the Pittsburgh Pirates all fighting for one spot in the Fall Classic. The American League, however, still has some work to do with its standings. The Boston Red Sox, Detroit Tigers, and the Oakland A's are all in, but the wild card gets a little interesting. With the playoff team starting today, the Tampa Bay Rays and the Cleveland Indians would make the playoffs, but too bad they don't. So the Texas Rangers and the Kansas City Royals and the New York Yankees are still in the hunt. The playoffs begin in October. It's going to be a busy weekend of sports, so make sure you guys catch a couple of games. Back to you, Allie.
Thanks, Garshpal. We have another guest with us today. Benjamin Tates is the Advanced Planning Chair for Active Minds. The club raises awareness about mental health and eliminating the stigma behind mental illness. Welcome, Benjamin.
Thank you for having me.
So tell us, what is the club Active Minds all about?
Active Minds is part of a national organization whose mission is to educate college students about mental health in general and to decrease the stigma associated with mental health issues.
Can you tell us about what kind of events you guys put on?
We do events throughout the year to educate students about mental health and to promote mental health in general, such as stress relief, National Eating Disorder Awareness Week, and suicide awareness.
I saw you guys were in the Daily Titan this past week. Can you tell us about those backpacks on Titan Walk?
Yes, that was an event called Send Silence Packing. On average, 1,100 college students die by suicide each year, and we had 1,100 backpacks to represent those students. Each one was donated by family or friends of those who are lost.
That sounds like a really great event. Can you tell us how students can get involved with this great organization?
They can either look up the national organization at www.activeminds.org, or you can find us on Facebook at ActiveMinds at CSUF.
Thanks so much for being here. When we come back, a recap of this week's in entertainment and how the new Apple iOS 7 is wreaking havoc on parents.
The smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life. Take time to be a dad today.
So, are you going out tonight? I can't. My parents say I have to be home right after work. That's so gay. Totally gay.
Ugh, that is so Emma and Julia.
Why are you saying that's so Emma and Julia?
We know when something is dumb or stupid, you say that's so Emma and Julia.
Who says that?
Everyone.
Imagine if who you are were used as an insult. When you say that's so gay, do you realize what you say? Knock it off.
There's some big events happening this weekend in entertainment. Let's go to Marky McManus for more.
Thanks, Allie. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Marky McManus with your entertainment news, and what a week for entertainment it was. Amanda Bynes is reportedly unfit to stand trial. According to TMZ.com, Bynes was supposed to appear in court last night for her DUI arrest back in 2012, but her lawyer told the judge she does not have the mental capacity to understand the nature of the legal proceedings at this time. Jim Carrey and Jeff Daniels are back at it again. The dynamic duo are back together after 20 years later filming the highly anticipated sequel, Dumb and Dumber 2. Carrey and Daniels excited fans Tuesday evening by tweeting a photo of themselves on set in full costume, captioning, "We're back." Dumb and Dumber 2 is expected to hit theaters in 2014. Hollywood Boulevard has been back-to-back block party this weekend. Jimmy Kimmel Live shut down the Boulevard Monday evening with a performance by the legendary Sir Paul McCartney, who rocked thousands of fans with songs from his forthcoming album, New, as well as a handful of Beatles classics. And last night, the party continued with Justin Timberlake, who hit the stage hard with a medley of new and old hits. Looking into this weekend, country star Keith Urban is performing live Friday night at the Hollywood Bowl. Rapper Too Short will be doing a show in Long Beach, and Depeche Mode will be rocking Staples Center this Saturday night. Some exciting new movie releases this weekend: Baggage Claim, Don John, and some family fun with Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs too. Have a great weekend, everyone. Back to you, Allie.
Miss Piggy will join her longtime beau Kermit the Frog at the Smithsonian's National Museum of American History. The puppet is among more than 20 newly donated to the museum by the Henson family. All will be added to the museum's current Jim Henson collection, which already includes Kermit. The museum says Miss Piggy will be put on display within the American Stories exhibition in March of next year. Apple lovers seem to be sold on the new iOS 7 software, but the changes reduce one 4-year-old to tears. Jeanne Moose has the more on the epic eye tantrum.
We adults clutch our smartphones like babies with pacifiers, but now babies hold smartphones like adults.
Say hi.
So why should we be surprised?
No. What's different?
Everything. When a 4-year-old has a meltdown because Apple changed its operating system.
Your friends never looked more attractive.
4-year-old Jack isn't laughing over Apple's new iOS 7.
Well, you're just going to have to get used to it.
No, I don't want it! At its launch, iOS 7 may have been cheered, but it brought Jack to tears. The dad who posted the video says his son doesn't actually own an iPhone. He just uses his father's iPad. But that didn't save Jack from being mocked.
I don't want it.
As one poster noted, children in Africa upset because they don't have clear water and food to eat. Children in America upset because of iOS 7. I especially like the guy who posted, when I was 4, the closest thing I had to an iPhone was an Etch-a-Sketch. Siri, do you even have a clue what an Etch-a-Sketch is?
I suppose it's possible.
Siri's getting grilled by iPhone users in diapers.
I don't know what you mean by www.
And before anyone criticizes Jack's tantrum, adults do it too. Jimmy Kimmel had a field day with a customer who walked into an Apple store thinking she could pick up a certain part.
I was told by AppleCare that I could walk in the store and get the part.
But that tirade got the ultimate tribute harmonized by the Backstreet Boys.
I was told by AppleCare that I could walk in the store and get the part.
As for Jack, his dad told ABC he's already fine with the new operating system, that he was upset mostly because his dad told him he would never see the old operating system again. But when Apple demoed the new version,
We've got some thunder brewing.
Little did they know.
Oh, yeah.
That a 4-year-old would be the one thundering.
I don't want it.
Jeannie Mo, CNN.
I don't know what you mean by
New York.
That is going to do it for us here at OC News. I'm Allie Smith, and I'll see you on the next edition of OC News.